Black Lives Matter facing some backlash for purchasing a $6 million mansion in California that was secretly bought with BLM funds. Jason Rantz with us. He follows the Black Lives Matter movement. What was their response to questions about the mansion and their money?
Well, Patrisse Cullors, the former co-founder of the movement, she actually moved on as a result of some of the reporting because of her spending habits on mansions, which is odd for a Marxist to have. But she was just in town speaking at an event on Vashon Island, and this was just a master class in grievance politics. She was basically saying that all criticisms, all quote-unquote attacks are racist. They're not legitimate because no matter the conduct from BLM activists, that she believes that they're justified because the work she's doing is just so important. She claims that she and other BLM leaders were victims of a right-wing media smear machine, but also, and this part I thought was kind of interesting, the nonprofit system that BLM exists in, she argues is, quote, deeply unsafe and was weaponized against her because some folks were asking to take a look at their IRS forms that show that they're complying with the law as a nonprofit. And there was a moment during this event where she and the moderator, they complained that no one was asking to see the IRS forms for the ACLU or United Way, and that even asking for it from the BLM movement is inherently racist. What they failed to realize, or maybe they're just ignoring, ACLU and United Way post their IRS forms that they were talking about on their websites. BLM does not. They have been trying to keep a lot of this secret. Now, they're arguing, in effect, that part of the reason is that they just don't know the system all that well, and they're learning as they're going. And if this wasn't so consistent, and if they weren't basically keeping private a lot of the mansion aspect to this, maybe someone would believe them, but it just looks like they're trying to cover up the fact that they're making a lot of money and arguably misspending it on the backs of activists in a movement that are saying, well, this is not what we're paying you for.
I can't see them getting any more money. I can't see them going to the big corporations and getting more money out of them. In fact, I think they're a spent force. 20 seconds, last word to you.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think at some point people realize that, when the left calls out right-wing grifters, they're actually just talking about themselves. And I think that when you lean into a movement and you misspend the funds, you tell people pretty quickly that you never really were a true believer.
I got it. Jason Rantz, our Seattle guy. Thanks very much, Jason. We'll see you.